will probably make you angry, will most assuredly make you laugh, and is guaranteed to make you think. 3-6 Nation Radio, where no topic is too hot, no take is too cold, with Monica Livingston and Sean Parker. 3-6 Nation Radio, in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, I am Monica D. Livingston, host, founder of 3-6 Nation, and it is 3-6 Nation Radio Day, and I am here joined by my co-host. Well, 1, 2, 3, tri-host. There's 3 of us. I don't know. Okay, these people up here.
Co-hosts, that works.
Co-hosts. These people up here with me today.
There's a lot of S's in that
because
word.
Sean isn't, as you guys know, Sean left. He got, I forget what he's doing. He dumped me for something. I'm trying to remember. He got this,
Gig.
that NBA gig.
What?
Yeah, the Minnesota Timberwolves. And so,
Who's that?
nobody, don't even worry about him.
Does
He
he have to
he
live in
forgot about
Minnesota,
us.
though?
He forgot about us already. So, hi, Sean. I'm just playing. Anyway, so Ivan and Thimby are gonna fill Sean's shoes. Help me out here today.
Good to
We've
be
got
here.
we got a lineup today.
We're gonna have some fun.
I know we're going to talk about race and politics
Yeah.
and sex, drugs, and rock and roll. No, wait a minute. That was last week. Okay,
last week.
no. So anyway, welcome to 3-6 Nation Radio. I am your host. Ivan, how was your day so far?
My day was fantastic. It has been fun. It has been long. I got stuck in
Fantastic.
traffic outside of Howard University. And we had this. I was in the Uber coming up here.
Okay.
And the woman that was driving me was this young woman who's grad school from West Virginia. And we had the best conversation about politics and religion and free will, stuck outside of Howard University. We didn't move for like 20 minutes, just
Oh.
sitting there talking about science and facts. And
So you paid for that conversation?
I
You
paid-
didn't
yeah,
Think
that's-
about
you know
getting
what?
out. It'd be
Is that like
cheaper
the
to.
people who pay to cuddle? I'm just check my notes.
oh man,
I remember that
what I'm
article.
talking
That people, I saw that on it was an
Pay for a
HBO
nice
special.
conversation.
Yeah, you cuddle with someone and you can pay somebody to cuddle you.
sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah.
You just
And
want.
when you're done, it's like, okay, bye.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Seems a
That's like
little
Uber.
strange. Oh, how
She-
much does
she
a
pulled
cuddle
up-
cost?
Per
Like
hour, per
50,
minute.
$60 an hour.
What?
I mean, I saw it on the.
Oh, I hug the hell out of somebody.
I just, due diligence. You want to be aware.
right. You just
In
happen
case
to.
you might want to cuddle. Like one day, you might feel like, I could really use a cuddle. You want to know what the price point is because you got to check your bank account. I'm just saying.
And you know that there is, in America, you can get what you want, right?
That's right. That's right.
Boom. You need a hug? There's a
$60
hug
bucks
available.
for a cuddle. All right, I'm gonna start a side business. It's radio gigging, panning out. And Thimby, thank you for joining us. How are you today?
Hey, I'm great.
Yeah?
I'm great.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that's it. We're going to be back with 3-6 Nation News after our first commercial break. We're going to get into some topics here. It's a little steamy in here today, so don't make sure you come back. This is 3-6 Nation Radio. We'll be right back.
I love how USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point, I did change to a different company with car insurance, and I was not happy with the customer service. We have switched back over, and we feel like we're back home now.
The process through USAA is so effortless that you feel like you're a part of the family.
I love that I can pass a membership to my children and that they can be protected. We're the Williams family, and we're USAA members for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
I love how USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point, I did change to a different company with car insurance, and I was not happy with the customer.
Come on, hustle. Get your head in the game. Come on.
Are you setting the right example for your kids?
Are you even trying? The ball's down there. What are you doing? You need to get some confidence.
Come on, hustle up, get up there.
Reviewing last year, ad revenue has declined 15%.
Come on, get your head on straight.
Before your child's next game, ask yourself, how would you like it if they copied your behavior?
There are many ways which we can improve.
That's for sure. You need to get some confidence.
Positive Coaching Alliance has valuable tips and tools to help our kids perform their best while keeping sports enjoyable for everyone. Their development zone is a great resource for parents like us. Positive Coaching Alliance, creating better athletes, better people. Learn more at positivecoach.org/Fox Sports.
It's about respect. Respect for our teammates, respect for our fans, and respect for our game.
It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. On this team, we're a family.
Racist, sexist, and homophobic language have no place on our team.
We pledge to make our locker room a safe place for everyone.
No matter your race, religion, or whether you are straight or gay, if you can play, you can play.
All right, and we are back. Listen, I got thrown off in the beginning. I forgot to tell everybody about our community spotlight segment. We have Dion Reeder in the building. She's graced us with her presence. Ivan is super excited about this. You guys know how Ivan loves politics, and Dion is running for the at-large seat as an independent here in the District of Columbia, and we're going to talk with her a little bit later. And I'm just interested. I've known her for a long time, but my main question when we talk to her is I just want to know why she quit her good government job. Okay.
Good government job.
Good government job.
With the
She's about a GS 37.
That's what I'm talking about. That good money.
And decided to get into this mess that we have going on here in politics. I think I know the real answer. She's always trying to help people, but we'll get to that a little bit later. First, let's do some 3-6 Nation news. Ivan, what you got for me?
All right, today, good news.
Okay.
It's a good news and bad news. Toys R Us, America's favorite toy store, is going bankrupt.
Dang,
which is the bad news. They filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and the giant that it is struggling. They've decided that they are going to reimagine themselves into an experience store. And so you go to Toys R Us, you take your cell phone and you walk around, and there are virtual reality, like Pokemon Go style exhibits, and you can like chase your toys through the building, and there's like a giant giraffe that'll lead you where you want to go. It's going to be so exciting.
Okay, wait a minute. So what do you actually purchase?
Oh, you
Just the
still purchase
experience?
toys. No, you still purchase toys.
Okay.
But like people, if you want to purchase toys, you go on Amazon,
Yeah,
right?
right.
But if you want to take your kids and have like a toy day,
Gotcha.
You go and there's like a tour.
All right.
There's like little baby dolls that you can like zoom in on and like you can play with them. They're interacting.
You just lost me.
What's
Just lost
better?
me,
What's
bruh.
better, Timmy?
The baby dolls.
What's wrong with baby
I
dolls?
don't want no baby dolls looking at me or bothering me.
Did you ever have a Tamagotchi?
Who?
The little pet on a keychain.
Oh, I'm too old for that.
Oh
I'm
man.
I had actual little like brown
Gerbils.
skin Barbie.
You said talking about pets, my bad.
It's a little brown skin Barbie doll. With a little
Aw.
hair, with a little cute asymmetric hair.
You cut it there?
Little salt and pepper baby doll.
It's the same thing.
yeah.
except
Yeah,
for the
Pepper
digital
is
world.
here too.
Oh, okay.
We're in the future.
All right.
And so you can do it on your cell
So
phone.
it's like Dave and Buster, meets Chuck E. Cheese, where you can still purchase toys. It's brilliant, actually.
I think it's a good idea.
If you're going out of business, they're reinventing themselves.
They're reinventing
That's
themselves,
what we all
and it's
have
good.
to do,
You know,
right?
I don't want to grow up.
Right. I was going to ask you. I'm a little concerned about how you know so much about this. Are you looking forward personally to visiting Toys R Us?
They're not introducing it at
Share.
every Toys R Us. I think there are like 20 locations. Most of them are like in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania area. I'm going to make a trip so I can go and see it.
It's going to be research for the show.
It's going to be research.
Yeah.
Right.
But I can remember, like, Toys R Us has my favorite memories as a kid.
Okay.
I can remember, because we were poor growing up, and my mother didn't like sugary cereals.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this coupon that said, if you go to Toys R Us, they give you, like, a little box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And I thought, like, this is going to be my thing. So, like, I snuck a ride to Toys R Us. And like I went in and I had and it was like it wasn't even a full box. It was like a mini box, and I was so excited. And it was and the Sega Genesis. Oh man, am I talking too fast? I really like Toys R Us.
You're right back there. Listen, that's why they went bankrupt, passing out all these cereal boxes. People like you. Right?
Yeah, my issue was that backwards R.
Oh, I'm with you. Why now? Why would you say that? Now it's stuck.
That's the key problem with our educational system.
Is the Toys R Us
that freaking backwards R.
Speaking of, I love your shirt.
Thank you.
Show the people.
Thank you.
I'm just
people?
a bill.
Yes, I'm only a bill.
And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. And
it's been a long journey
anyway,
to cat.
Yeah, anything happens
City.
on this show. So, all right, thanks for the update on Toys R Us. I mean, what you got for people? Your news story.
So, okay. We've been talking about this whole issue with Harvey Weinstein and the sexual assault, the sexual harassment, and how people are coming and speaking up about it. Some after many years, and so Ellen DeGeneres has gotten some flack for reposting a picture of her gawking at Katy Perry's breasts in a picture and said, happy birthday, let's bring out the big balloons, ha ha ha. And there are a lot of people who are tweeting at her and who are coming back at her and saying if that was a guy who had said that, then the whole world would stop. And I have to say, it's true. I think there's a really interesting thing about patriarchy is that we all are under this patriarchal society, and we all end up sort of feeding into it. And so I think she just needs to go ahead and be like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Women, I've had women grab my boobs before, like, oh, girl, ha, 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 Right. And I mean, it's cool, but I'm not saying it's not okay.
The difference is you asked them to do it.
I asked them to do it. I was like, right? The point being that, like, I think as women, we have to be very careful about the liberties that we take with other women, because women are already subjugated enough in society. And I think a lot of times we will laugh it off and say that it's okay, but it's not. And so I think she's just
I mean, I want a male's perspective here. So Ivan, and I think the other thing to remember in this is that Katy Perry and Ellen are friends. So does that change, the tweet at all, or is it still, something that she shouldn't have done? When you knew about the story, what's your thought on it in terms of it? Does it less bothersome? Do you think it's okay because it's two women, because they're friendly? Does the gay factor have anything to do with, in your thought process?
For me personally, I am more upset at the fact that they are celebrities than the fact that they are women or the fact that they are friends. I think that friends have a certain level of camaraderie that you have with each other, that you joke around, that you do what you do with your friends, and you have a relationship that is built on whatever it is. These are real people. They have real friends.
Right.
But as a celebrity, nobody knows what that is, right? Nobody knows what you are bringing to the conversation, to the table, what kind of past backgrounds you have. And so you have to be doubly aware that what you are doing is going to be in the spotlight.
Good point.
So whether or not it was inappropriate for them on a personal level,
right.
I think it's inappropriate because you're on a national stage and everybody is watching you and everybody's upset.
So she just sent it just to her personal cell, because she has her cell, right?
Yeah,
in my mind, like,
hey, girl.
they hanging out on the weekends, Ellen and Katy Perry, and
just drinking mimosas.
Right, they
absolutely.
was chilling.
Well, and the wife's gonna be there. What's Ellen's wife's name?
Portia.
Yeah,
is
Portia
there. And then probably Melissa Etheridge comes through and she's grilling stuff. Talking about, girl, in my mind, this is what's going on, right? There's this big, gay friendly party with everybody, and Beyonce and Jay-Z stopped by. Stretch. Okay, anyway.
That's a party, man.
Rainbows
this just exploded.
Just all over the place.
So if she'd have done that to her personal phone, we think that would have been okay.
It would have been okay if they would have thought it was okay.
Right.
Right.
If Katy would have thought
If Katy
it was
would have been like, "Oh, girl, you hilarious. I got you next time," or whatever. And if somebody would have said,
Did Katy respond to you broke this
know.
story?
I ain't check yet.
Okay. All right. So that's how we do it here at 36 Nation News.
Yeah.
We bring
Can
you
I
half
ask a question,
stories. Right. We don't know all the details of anything.
I want to ask this, okay? Let's take it out of the realm of celebrities, though.
Okay.
And if these were friends, right? And we talked about the gender differences. It would have been, I would say it would have been crossing a line if that had been a guy doing that.
Say that just like you said that, though, again.
I would say that it would be crossing a line if that had done that. If it was a guy.
Right.
But I can't speak to the relationship that women have with other women. And
No,
so
you can't.
If I was a guy hanging out with other guys, the things that we do
what do y'all
can
do?
be, it's brutal and
probably
mean
disgusting.
and you ever seen some guys
guys are gross.
they're gross,
Yes.
they're mean
Yeah.
and gross.
Yeah.
If I saw two girls doing that, I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
Right.
If I see two guys doing that, I was like, they are jerks.
Right.
And there's a difference in how I think about how they interact with each other, only because I'm not in that community. Every
Gotcha.
time I
But is that
interact with
patriarchy?
women,
Yeah.
every time I interact with women, suddenly I'm the guy who's interacting with women. And so I don't even have a vision of what that looks like when I'm not around.
Good point. Good point. All right. Well, that's how we feel about it. Now, what I really want to talk about is your next story.
The Corn Puffs?
Oh my goodness! The
Have
Corn
you
Puffs.
guys heard this?
Jacob, we have the picture for the Corn Puffs. People that are watching, look at this right
All
here.
right, which one of these Corn Pops
is not
like the others?
Come on, it's centralized. You see the negative space around him.
It's the one wearing
you see
clothes.
the red background.
It's the one wearing
okay,
clothes.
Let's come from a graphic design perspective.
Ooh, that's
y'all.
deep right there.
We're real
broke down
focused.
Willie's
I'm just
corn on a
saying.
stick.
I'm just saying.
So, Ivan, what's the story, man? It's just
So apparently, Kellogg's Corn Pops, the makers of the Corn Pop, somebody saw this on the back of one of the boxes, and they said, "Hold up a minute."
Right.
And Kellogg's immediately, within I think 4 hours, did a full recall. The art was deleted.
Yeah.
Apologies were sent out. I want to know. Listen, we talked about Dove last time I was.
Yep.
We talked about Dove, and we said, "Come on, get your act together." Then we wait several weeks,
Right.
and
here
this
we
is
go
still
again.
happening. It's still happening.
There are a bunch of people that have to approve any kind of ad that goes out to the public. What does the boardroom look like where you're sitting around and you're like, listen, okay, I got this one. This is what we're going to do. We're going to put this on the back of the cereal box.
Oh, man, it's
and
not
we've
a
got
Corn
this
Pop, it's a
one.
raisin.
Show the picture again, Jacob. And we got this one little Corn Pop. And he's going to be the darkest one. And we're going to have him clean it up. Why, look at all the other
You have shoppers.
Yeah,
you have kids.
they're
You
chilling.
have people juggling. You have
He's drinking.
jump ropers. You have a guy who's literally snorkeling inside the pool,
He on
inside the
vacation.
fountain.
Right. Okay.
And you got the one guy who's working.
With our Beats
Earphones
headphones
in.
on, right? 'Cause
Come
you
on
know how
now.
we do, right?
Come on
ridiculous,
now.
absolutely ridiculous. So,
I
good
was on
news
the
for
fence.
you, Ivan, though, is there are a lot of cereal boxes now you can get. Okay, so
Where's my Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Yeah,
I just have to
I
settle
think this
for
comes back to the Toys R Us situation.
Here's the question, though: are we becoming too sensitive? Like, is there is it a possibility at all that this is not a racist ad?
No.
That
Everything's racist.
Okay, this will be a whole show.
Okay.
Just saying.
I'm playing devil's
Monica.
advocate. I'm saying maybe they wanted the janitor to shine.
Have an out. He's tanned because he has to work inside and outside.
Did you
I'm
miss
sorry.
my joke? I'm gonna do it again. Maybe they wanted the janitor to shine. Shine. Get it. Anyway, thank you. All right, so it's a racist joke. Oh, Jacob, what do you think? What? Maybe it's a different what?
Okay. He's postulating that maybe we are all just focusing on the one that we think is racist, and that
Well,
wasn't
here's
even the
the
right one.
He looks different. Why do we assume that the other Corn Puffs are white? Maybe they light skinned.
You know what?
Well, see, but the thing is, right? We've been taught through movies and television and all types of advertisements that white is the default, right? So whatever color something is, if it's green or if it's purple, whatever, is really white. It's a surrogate for white. And so if something else is another color, like you got this one thing that's the other color and it's the janitor, yeah, people are gonna be sensitive. You know, some people are like, oh, it's just a cereal box, it doesn't matter. But the point is that is how racism works. It's systemic. It's in every single thing. It's this idea that there are all these tiny little subliminal messages
Sure.
in addition to the blatant ones, like people, blatantly redlining areas where people can't live and people can't travel and sitting you in a train car that you can't sit in a certain part of the train car. I mean,
Right.
the history
Yeah.
of the thing, right?
Don't get come
down
on
to
now.
listen. I'm just saying.
It's an hour show.
I'm
Calm
just
down.
saying.
I am more upset about this by far than I was about Dove.
Yeah.
Because one, this is for children.
Absolutely. I was just
right?
going to say
This
that.
is on your
Right.
little 5-6-year-old's breakfast cereal.
Every single morning, and it sends that message and ingrains that message into that little black child's head that's what I can be, is this janitor, and only
You can't be the
that.
tourist. You can't be the
other people.
ninja.
Right.
You can't be the snorkeler. You can be the janitor, though.
Yeah. And
Every Corn Pop on that picture is the exact. It's not like there are shades and the dark one
Good
was a dark one. There is one color of Corn Pop,
Right.
except for the janitor, which is a little bit darker.
Yeah.
And that is not just problematic. That is offensive.
And Kellogg's apologized because they knew they were wrong. They were like,
My
got
bad.
it.
My bad.
You got it.
All right, so
And good for them.
Kellogg's, that's how we stand here at 36 Nation Radio. Kellogg's, we caught you. We see you with your little corn puff janitor. We called you out on it, and you knew you were wrong. And now what are they going to do with all the recall? I mean, I want them to
send them to Toys R Us and give them away.
No, they'll probably donate them back into some community and do the whole thing all over again. What they should do is take their little sealed pouch that they come in and put that cereal in the new boxes and then give those boxes away. That's what I want Kellogg to do.
It's gonna squish. It's not gonna sit right in the box. Plus, who's had corn pops up in here? You ever had a corn pop before? I never had a corn pop in my life. Never in my life. It looks disgusting.
Really?
And that's just on top of it. That's just insult to injury.
It's not the best. It's not the most sugary cereal. I mean, like Sugar Smacks are much better, or Frosted Flakes, but corn puffs.
Then ones like cut your mouth up. Which one are the ones that cut your mouth up?
Oh,
Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, Fruity
Pebbles.
Yeah,
Yeah, Fruity Pebbles can be dangerous. Yeah, like a lollipop when it gets at home.
Invented to like counter masturbation.
Say what?
What?
Okay.
Cornflakes. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So
you're right.
that was our engineer. If you didn't hear him, that's okay. We're gonna go to commercial break. Right? On that note, it'll be Community Spotlight segment when we come back with Dion Reader. Whoa, what a lead in there, Jacob! And we're gonna switch gears completely from cereal and whatever Jacob mumbled and talk about our great community here in District of Columbia. In fact, Jacob, let's show Dion's video that I sent you earlier so people can get accustomed to her before we actually end up talking. It's 36 Nation Radio. We'll be right back.
Growing up here in this home on King Street in Columbia Heights, I was tremendously blessed. My dad worked his entire life at George Washington University, and my mom ran her own small business right out of our basement. They taught me if I trust in God, get a good education, work hard, and play by the rules, I can accomplish anything I seek out to achieve living here in the district. So I graduated from Roosevelt High School, right up on Georgia Avenue, went to West Virginia State University, earned my degree, and came back home to start my career. I started working on Capitol Hill and also working with my church in the community. And I realized what my parents taught me just wasn't true for so many residents in so many neighborhoods. If you work hard, play by the rules, the opportunities just wasn't there for all of those residents to succeed. So I decided to leave Capitol Hill and do something about it.
Dion Reader has spent her career in service to the community, working to provide opportunities for hardworking folks. After leaving Capitol Hill, Dion went to work at the DC Community Prevention Partnership, where she developed a college prep program that helped over 200 young people get into college. More than half were the first in their family to go to college, and 75% of her students graduated. She caught the attention of then DC CFO Anthony Williams, who gave her a job and a $9 million budget to curb youth violence. When Anthony Williams became mayor, he hired Dion to be his neighborhood services coordinator in Ward 8. Dion built a reputation as somebody who really cared about people and was seen as someone who could cut through the red tape to deliver results. When Mayor Williams finished his term in office, Dion continued her work in the community with the Far Southeast Family Strengthening Collaborative. For more than a decade, Dion managed the organization's day-to-day activities in the community and multi-million-dollar investments to improve people's lives. Last year, she was awarded a Fox 5 Geico Hometown Hero Award for her work lifting people up in the community at the Collaborative. Seeing a food desert in Anacostia, Dion led a team to start Cheers at the Big Chair on MLK Avenue Southeast, a full-service restaurant that not only serves the community, but hires their employees from the community.
She leads from the heart. Through her passion, her education, her experience, her outreach to not only the Southeast community, but throughout the city. She actually has transformed lives, through working with the collaborative, but it goes beyond that. Okay, she herself will stay up all night with someone who just lost the job or who lost their child, who needs food, who needs clothes or shelter. She personally will stay with them and help them. And I think as council member, she will do that for the city.
She has a unique set of values that have to do with growing community. First of all, she has great expectations for the residents of Ward 8 and Ward 7. She intrinsically believes that they can do wonderful things if we give them the opportunity and the skills. And she moves from that. She values people. She values institutions. And she values hard work. Those are the kinds of things that you can depend on her for.
She has a lot of family values. Her morals are very high. And she wants to see the community grow and do better so that people don't think they have to stay where they are. They can excel.
No matter where you live in the city, if you're willing to work hard and play by the rules, you should have the same opportunity to provide for you and your family. There's a lot that the DC Council can do to make this a reality. We just need someone that's willing to step up and be the champion for this cause. Today, I'm stepping up and officially launching my campaign for the at-large independent seat on the DC Council, because I believe we all benefit when we all have equal access to opportunity. If you share this belief, join us at DionForDC.com and become a part of our campaign.
All right, we are back. 36 Nation Radio is back. I'm going to start calling it 36 Nation Radio TV because really it's radio you can watch. I am joined here today by Dion Reader. I am so excited about this. It's been a long time since I've been able to get excited about politics, and I'm super excited because Dion is running for the at-large seat here in the District of Columbia. We're going to talk to her. She's a friend. I've known her for years, and the work that she has done in the community has been outstanding, and with the collaborative, and even before then. And I was going to read your bio. I told you that, and I was going to tell you guys how wonderful she was. And I have this thing about reading bios, and I think, of course it sounds great, but when you hear a person talk about what they've done, where they've worked, you can hear the passion that comes out. So, do your own bio. So let me just ask you this, because, are you qualified, right? Because we know that don't necessarily mean anything, right? You can be unqualified and run for political office, but I know for a fact that you are. But tell people why, in fact, you know that you have the heartbeat of this community and some of the things that you've done in DC.
Well, thank you, Monica, for allowing me to be on.
What's up, girl? I'm so happy you're here. Right.
So Dion and Monica got a whole different relationship.
Yep.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. To ask me to tell you about myself is kind of difficult because it's not like I had this plan for my life that I was going to do A, B, and C, and then I was going to run for office. It was never that. I was raised by two God-fearing, loving parents, and one of the things that they were very involved in is in our community. I used to laugh at how my mother would cook dinner for the five of us. I had, in my home with my mother and father, I had two sisters, and I had two older brothers, but in my home, my mom would cook for us, and that would turn into a dinner for us, our friends, and whoever else walked down the street. And if you want a meal, you want to play, especially on Friday, Fridays you fry fish, so you guys know that. And it was just that kind of environment that I grew up in. My parents taught me, it wasn't some pie in the sky attitude, but it was really, if you work hard, you do the right thing, you trust God, good things will happen. Mm-hmm. And you treat people how you want to be treated. So regardless of where you were in life, your economic status, what you did, it was important. It kind of chokes me up when I think about it because, it really was important for my parents to understand that, and that's something that happened before I was born. Mm-hmm. So it just was in me, if I could say that. Yeah. So everything that I've done, not perfect, don't get me wrong, I'm a mess, I've made some bad decisions, but inside me, innately, I believe that we have a responsibility to each other, and that's people, not no color, but people. Right. We have a responsibility. So in my life growing up, I did a lot of work, and actually a lot of my community work stemmed from a tragic experience. My oldest sister, who was my idol, was murdered by her husband when I was a sophomore in college. Wow. I was an architecture major, if you guys really want to believe that. I really was. I went to Roosevelt Senior High School, and they had a drafting program there. And I was going to go to school, and I was going to build houses and make a whole bunch of money for my family, right? That was the deal. And when I got there, I was in the drafting program, did horrible. So,
can you draw?
Right, you got to start somewhere.
Can't take them crayons to that class. Okay, right.
So, my sister, during that time, she was murdered, and I didn't understand. We did everything right as a family. We called the police, had the protection orders. We did everything, and he still was able to murder my sister. And I had a professor in college who was a lawyer and a political science professor, and his name was Douglas Miller. If he's still living, shout outs to him. Excellent professor, and he broke down the judicial system for me, the legislative system and the executive body in such a way that it made me interested. My parents were always involved in our community organizations and civic associations. My mom went to all of those meetings, and I was always with her going because my parents had me late in life. They were 40 and 42, so she didn't put me on my older sisters. I would go with her and come on home, and like you would do with your parents. And that mindset actually drove me to do more public service work.
Okay.
So I really started my career working for my church. I used to attend Greater Mount Calvary Holy Church, and they used to be on Park Road. And when I came home, I told my pastor, all right, now I got this degree, I can't find a job. Y'all got to help me. And he gave me a job working in the church for the Catawba House, which was a substance abuse ministry. Never been addicted to drugs, but before I knew it, just being Dion, if the counselor wasn't there, I was doing groups, right? I was doing it. I was making it relative to whatever made sense to me at 22 years old.
Right.
But that kind of experience, kind of jumping out there, I did a lot of administrative work there, transitioned on to work on Capitol Hill as a legislative staff assistant, which didn't know then, but know now that that was building my writing skills, which was imperative. Had an opportunity, and really which propelled my actual public service work. I worked for an organization called the DC Community Prevention Partnership. And I was really young, I was 22 years old, because I came home from college, I was 21, worked for my church for a year, went on Capitol Hill, and then I transitioned into this position. And my church, I was on a ministry at my church, and I'm gonna make this story short. I was working in a ministry called Women of Virtue, and you had to have a college degree to work on a ministry. And the idea was a scholarship component. So one day, I was one of the youngest members there. I was like, we should do something to prepare kids for school, for college, because that was a difficult process for me. Even though both of my older sisters had gone to college, my older sisters were the reason why I went away to school, because I was a spoiled brat. And they was like, Mom, she got to go away. If she stay here, she going to be worse than she is today.
Getting out of here, right?
So came back home, did the work for the church, and I was working at this job. And you know how you guys are. My church was little. We couldn't copy 500 papers.
Right.
You know, that was like, you had to take a collection for that, right? So I asked my then supervisor, executive director, I said, Linda, can I copy some of these for my church? She said, well, what is it? I said, well, we're doing a college fair at the church. She said, sure, you can copy it if you do it here. And that transition, it was my first opportunity to write a program. So I wrote a program called I'm not really innovative in names, it was called the College Prep Program.
Let's get right to the point.
Just right to the point.
This is what this is.
That's what it is, right? So we took mainly
by Dion.
Right. Transition by Dion, subtitle. But we took young people through the process and their parents of applying for college. Actually really going through the entire process, identifying scholarship money. And one of the things I realized, a lot of people want to go to school, but it's when you get there how you pay for it.
Right.
So we had a heavy emphasis on scholarships and really pushing young people to apply for scholarships, because that's the other piece. Got to get them to apply. So that's kind of how I transitioned into community work. Then got an opportunity to work for, at that time, CFO, Anthony Williams. And I was the first person to develop a youth violence prevention program out of a grant that the city received from the federal government. It was a $9 million grant. It was a local law enforcement block grant. Didn't know nothing about managing or writing no books, right? God loves me because I learned. Didn't make a fool of myself or the Reader family. Learned how to do that and did it really well. And from there, transitioned to the neighborhood service coordinator position. Worked in Ward 8, really as the mayor's front person for clean and public safety needs. Worked with a lot of the directors, and that transition to working for the Far Southeast Family Strengthening Collaborative as their community engagement director. I was responsible for the day-to-day engagement activities, managing day-to-day operations relating to any outside activity unrelated to case management. Made the connections, did the networking, and then we opened up the restaurant. So it wasn't like I kind of had this book written, right, about all of this stuff. But I've always believed in public service. I believe that that's how you build your bank of human kindness. Is by giving and doing, and it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's just the right thing to do. And it's the responsibility that we have as individuals living in a society. I mean, that's how we become civil. So it's not, it's like I be trying to think of stuff like it's not that serious. It's just what you do.
Right. It's what you're supposed to do, right? It's just like human kindness and helping other people. And if you know better, teach somebody, and do better, right?
So
and
that's what it is.
And so you answered my question. You are more than qualified, okay? More than qualified for the position, and so that's fantastic. Jacob, let's do this. Let's take a commercial break, and then when we come back, I know Ivan and Thimby have some questions. We're going to get a little deeper into, why you're doing it and not really hard issues because, it's about the people, and I can see that with you, and I know you, and so I'm going to give them an opportunity to know what I know. So this is 36 Nation Radio. We'll be right back in a minute.
It's about respect. Respect for our teammates, respect for our fans, and respect for our game.
It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. On this team, we're a family.
Racist, sexist, and homophobic language have no place on our team.
We pledge to make our locker room a safe place for everyone.
No matter your race, religion, or whether you are straight or gay, if you can play, you can play.
I love how USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point I did change to a different company with car insurance and I was not happy with the customer service. We have switched back over and we feel like we're back home now.
The process through USAA is so effortless that you feel like you're a part of the family.
I love that I can pass a membership to my children and that they can be protected. We're the Williams family and we're USAA members for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
Come on, hustle, 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 hustle. Get your head in the game. Come on.
Are you setting the right example for your kids?
Are you even trying? The ball's down there. What are you doing? You need to get some confidence.
Come on, hustle up, get up there.
Reviewing last year, ad revenue has declined 15%.
Come on, get your head on straight.
Before your child's next game, ask yourself, how would you like it if they copied your behavior?
There are many ways which we can improve.
That's for sure. You need to get some confidence.
Positive Coaching Alliance has valuable tips and tools to help our kids perform their best while keeping sports enjoyable for everyone. Their development zone is a great resource for parents like us. Positive Coaching Alliance, creating better athletes, better people. Learn more at positivecoach.org/Fox Sports.
Woo! All right, we are back. Thank you very much. Listen, I am inspired. I was just thrilling to hear your story, where you've come from. I do have a couple questions.
Sure, please.
As I'm thinking about DC, I know a lot of people don't travel outside of their areas, right? So I'm in Northeast 8th Street corridor, and I live there, right? People in Northwest, they stay in Northwest. People down in, down by Blue Plains, they just don't get up this direction. So can you share some of the differences in these cultures? Because you talk about access a lot. What are some of the access that people don't have?
So I'm glad you said that. I live on Kenyon Street between Sherman and 11th. So I walked yesterday. I had a meeting at the Coop restaurant. Love the spot. Between me walking from my house to 2 blocks over, I counted 14 restaurants. 14, right? Okay. A block away from my house, there's literally 2 blocks up, there's a grocery store. 2 blocks in the other way is a grocery store. 6 blocks down is a grocery store, right?
Yeah.
I walked Sunday, me and my wife, to Macy's, right? Now, it wasn't a long walk. We enjoyed ourselves because we had wonderful views to see as we walked. Nice, beautiful day, right? But it's something wrong when you have a community that's 75,000 people. You have 1 grocery store and 4 sit-down restaurants.
Wow.
So you don't have to leave your community, right? I may not have to leave mine, and I have all the amenities I need right there. But that should be across this entire city. It should not be in certain communities that it is, and certain communities that it isn't. And we have a responsibility to change that. We have work to do, and we can do the work. It's not that we don't have, there's a problem with doing the work. It's not that the resources aren't there to do the work. And it's great to be able to spend a Sunday in your neighborhood, not having to jump on a bus to get to the grocery store or wait in a line for 2 hours because it's so overcrowded because it's the only one there. That's what we deserve. This is not something that we should be doing just because we should do it. No, this is what we're supposed to do. Yes. So it's for me, we have major work to do in this city. We've done phenomenal work in this city. I mean, we have. So it's not as if, so we have a proven track record in Washington, D.C. I love my city, from Ward 1 to Ward 8. And we have a proven track record that we can actually build communities that are effective, that are viable, and there are places that people from across the whole country want to live in. It's a believable and a doable assignment. We just need all of us to unite in a way that we can build it, and it's revenue driven. I'm not a fool. I own a business, right? So that it's revenue driven, but it's nothing wrong with having a community where I can walk to my job.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Or go to my church, or go to the grocery store, or a restaurant, because that builds community. This is about building communities the way that we've seen that DC has done it for eons. We just got to get back to what we know is correct. And a part of that is we have to believe that people really want to work hard. And then granted, you're going to have some people that don't want to work hard. And we know that. We're not fools, right? I'm not foolish. I don't live in a utopia, right? However, we also have to create the access for individuals to get there. And that's what this work is about. It's about creating a system, as a systematic approach. This is something that has been institutionalized. It's not a secret that we've done some things on purpose to benefit those of us who we want to benefit and have not benefited those of us that we did not want to. So it's the work that has to be done. And what I'm saying is, and I'm going to be honest with you, if I spend the next year just saying it, right, and we come into the polls, and I may not win, but the devil is a lie, I'm going to win, right?
She's got my vote.
So if the reality is, if you just hear it, somebody said something about it. So that's why it's important.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's why it's important.
I'm going to give this to you.
I mean, she
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And I had a lot going on today, right?
That's all right.
Thank you.
I love it. Vote.
Yeah.
So my question is about the arts.
I love the arts.
Excellent, excellent.
And I think I can sing too. Music lives inside of me.
Oh, that's it, right. If you can talk, you
just
can
don't
sing.
want it to
That's
come
what
out.
they say, right? Well, I want to know. I would love for you to talk about how you see the arts flourishing in a city where you are on the council. What kinds of initiatives and what kinds of opportunities do you see in your vision for the city?
Well, one of the things I think is very important for us is that, especially young people, and I'll say this, and don't stone me. I got a couple of millennials that are probably texting me now, Tia and Marcus. But anyway, right? They remind me of what's happening now in DC. But I think arts go exactly with education. Let me tell you, I really believe in the concept of STEAM, right? I think it's critically important. I look at my granddaughter. I have a beautiful 4-year-old granddaughter. I don't think I've ever been in an interview with anyone and not shouted out Autumn. Hi, Autumn. It's my grandbaby. Love her to death. I got to say, and my daughter, Charmel, sorry. She always said, talk about Autumn. Don't talk about her.
Hey, Autumn. Hey, Charmel.
Autumn learns, and I watch her. Autumn is a very artistic child. She's very tech savvy, but most kids are in this era. But she also is really engulfed with singing and acting it out and being colorful herself. And when she's in environments that promotes that, she is a better Autumn. So for me, I think it's imperative that we infuse arts and culture. We've always done it in every part of our society. I think we will be remiss if we did not understand the importance of involving arts and culture in education and really having people to feel proud about it, because when we're expressive and we're able to do what we feel that we're comfortable doing and express ourselves in a way that people can really understand us, then we feel that our voices have been heard, whether that's through writing, artistic expressions, music, poetry, whatever it is. And I think that's imperative in terms of our development as a people. And it's always been with us. It's not like it's something that we've forgotten. We just haven't placed the energy and the efforts around it and the resources to ensure that every last person that comes across us in every part of the city, they see the art. And I'm really, really proud of what Arts and Humanity Council has done. Because if you notice, they've been doing some great stuff around the city, and they're being very innovative in terms of how they're actually, I'll say, distributing their resources in parts of this whole city so that we all can be a part of the arts movement. So I think we're moving in the right direction. And that's thanks to our city and the work that's being done through this particular mayor. And I think this is important that we see arts as a part of our daily educational process. So yeah, I think it's important, and I think it's imperative, because it's what, I mean, we all like that. You know, DC has our own genre of music, you know, go-go. And if you know, and if we weren't able to express ourselves, and I'm a go-go here, right? I gotta tell you guys. But if we weren't able to, I am. Anybody know me? I am. And if we weren't, and it's a group of us that enjoy it so much to the point it reminds us of the DC we know. So that's important. And again, at 46 for me, it's still imperative into everything that we do. So I think it's important. I definitely do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got a question. All right, so your wife. Mm-hmm. Which
hey,
means,
Stephanie.
Hey, Steph, what's going on with you? Hey,
That's
Steph.
my baby right
Hey,
there.
Steph. Right. How has, a lot of times, especially in Black communities, we struggle with embracing gay, lesbian, LGBTQ, and Z. I can't keep up. Right. My bad. Right, IZT, everybody. We should just love everybody. We don't have to drop all the letters. But talk a little bit about, first off, your restaurant, your as a business, or how you were received in the community, being that you guys are, you know, lesbians and own a restaurant in the heart of Black community and culture, like you're in Ward 8. Okay. How has that been, and are you worried about it? The second part is, are you worried about it in terms of it for your political career? Okay.
So how has it been, and then am I worried about it?
Right.
Okay. So how about the worried about it first?
Go for it.
All right. No.
Okay. And done.
Let me say this. I grew up in a typical Bible-beaten family. Even went to a Bible-beaten church, and you know, everything around me was that I should don't come out. You better stay in the closet, and you know,
right. Yep.
don't disgrace us.
Yep.
You know, and the wonderful thing that I learned from the church that I mentioned earlier, Greater Mount Calvary. I'm no longer a member there, but what I thank Bishop and co-pastor for more than anything is that they showed me how to have a relationship with God. Right? I got to know God for myself.
Right. This is an independent relationship.
That relationship, and it did something for me that made me realize, if God is who He say He is, I ain't make me. I didn't create Dion. Right? I'm a daddy's girl. I had an awesome daddy. When you talk about Joseph Rita, you know, I kind of see myself as a little Joseph Rita. Like, I really do. Right. I have an affinity to young men. Anyone who knows me, right? Young men are always around me. I'm always mama hugging them, auntie, want to encourage them. And that stemmed from the strong man that I saw in my dad, right? But that has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that I'm a strong, beautiful queen, right? And I love other queens.
Oh, come on.
So I'm not, I didn't create Dion. So I can't figure out why am I like this, and that spends too much energy, and it takes away the energy of the work that I'm supposed to be doing as a child of God. So I don't get into those conversations with people in terms of, well, you did this and you did that. That's your opinion of me, and I'm fine with that, because I'm still me and God still love me, and that's what I believe. So I don't really, for lack of a better, I don't care what you think. I actually met my wife when I was 27. She was 24. We, like any other young couple, weathered a couple of storms together and worked some things out, separated for a minute, got back together, and it's been 18 years. And 5 years ago, we said we're going to get married, and it wasn't so much because we thought that, you know, marriage equality, you know, we wanted to ensure that we were living a white life. First, it was pleasing. Second, that, you know, if anything was to happen to she or I, that we were able to be protected.
Absolutely.
And that our family understood that. My mom was deceased before I came out. My father, I think he really knew, because it was really strange to have me living with this woman. You know, I got me and this woman living together. She my roommate, right? And, you know,
roommate, 37 years old, talking about my roommate.
Right, that's right. I got a roommate. And my father like, you got this good government job, you need a roommate. What's wrong with this picture, right?
Exactly.
But we never talked about it. My sister, who's living now, is the only person. Her and was my best friend, is like a brother to me. They were the only two people that I felt the need to really say. I said to Jackie, you know, hey, you know, what would make you stop loving me? And she said nothing. I said, well, I'm gay. And we kept on. We went on about that. And, you know, was she pleased? I don't think so. You know, she still struggles with it today. But she loves me with everything inside of her. And she loves my wife equally as much. We all live together as a happy family. They probably team up on me more than I even get a chance to vote on anything in the house. And so it doesn't matter as much to me.
Right.
So I'm talking a lot, but let me get to your first question. I know we got to
You're
move on.
supposed to talk a lot.
Okay.
That's what the show is.
So the first question is about
the talk show.
So the question about the restaurant, that wasn't a plan either. My dear brother, I have a lot of good men that are around me, and I always thank God for it. I got good brothers that are around me. I really do. One of them, we did a lot of work together years ago. He was one of the co-founders of Peaceaholics. Him and I have been working together in the trenches, saving young people lives, sending them off to college, supporting them while they went there, wrapping ourselves around them while they were here. He had the opportunity came to him, and he said, "Sis, what you think about, open up a restaurant?" And I was telling him, I was like, "That's great. That's a good idea.
You should do that.
Yeah, you should do that, right?"
Go for it.
And he said, "You want to be my business partner?" And I was like, "Wow, And I pulled together my resources. I have a dear cousin and friend, Dennis Green, who believed enough in me to invest in me, and we pulled together our resources, and then we opened up Cheers. Wow. So the reality is, it wasn't a plan, but Monica, you know this about me. Anything I put my mind to, I'm going to put 100%.
Absolutely.
Everything, my financial resources, my sweat equity. And I know that we need a sit-down restaurant in a part of the community where you only have 4. So it opened up an opportunity for us to get the bitter with the sweet, the challenges. I didn't know anything about restaurant ownership. And I'll tell anybody who's listening, before you open up any business, do what I didn't do. Research, take the time, study, understand it, know everything about it so you don't make some of the mistakes that I made. It was a double-edged sword, one of the hardest things I've ever done, but one of the most rewarding things I've ever done.
And it was so necessary. I have the history there. When we had the school, we had some of our students would intern in the establishment that was there previously, and it was difficult. What I know about Cheers now is that it is run well, and you guys have staying power, and it's so needed and necessary in that community.
Thank you.
Listen, this has been wonderful. Believe it or not, we've been here an hour. We're almost out of time.
goodness.
I know, it just goes
Sorry.
like that. No, there is nothing. Yeah, tell us. That's what I was
Not
going
to
to say.
November next year. We got a year. We got a year to get out there and do the right thing.
Listen, talk about this kickoff event.
Okay,
Look
thank
in that
you,
camera
thank you,
right there.
thank you,
Tell
thank you.
people how
So,
to get in touch with you.
please.
The kickoff event.
Got it.
And your
All right.
phone number,
Okay,
all that.
that
Tell them.
So get in touch with me by www.Dione, that's DIONNE 4FORDC.com. DionForDC.com. Everything is on the website. Social media is everywhere. Thanks to a lot of great articles that's been written, a lot of great people. I am having my kickoff event. I need you all on November the 8th. This can't be done without the support of people, your time, your resources. I need it all because we got to run a formidable race, an honest race, and a clean race, but I need you guys to do it. Come out November the 8th, Ivy City Smokehouse. It's free admission. Great time. Bring your checkbooks. November the 8th, 6 to 9. Thank you so very much.
Don't forget the checkbook.
That's
Now,
right.
I'll tell you right now.
Thank
Listen,
you.
Dion, thank you so much. We're going to keep letting people know up until the event, and we're going to stay with you this year.
Thank you
You
guys
already
so
know.
much.
You got votes
Appreciate this.
already
Thank y'all
right
so
here.
very much. Thank you.
If you
Thank
voting for Dion and you in the audience, put your hands together right now. Put your hands together, right? So look like 36 Nation Radio is going to bring this
Thank
home.
y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much. Listen, we're out of time. Don't go anywhere. Thursday Night Tea is next, and you know what? It's Thursday Night Tea with who? He's in the building with his cute self. That boy can make me confused. He's so cute. I love me some Anthony. All right, this is 36 Nation Radio. See you next week.